Alright, folks, it's another episode of Tucker's Flea Market Finds. We're gonna go see what we can scrummage up at the Scrappy Flea Market. We're at Wawa, and Lisa just bought my breakfast. Nice. Emily and Jimmy were at the Wawa, and I had to go back and get a donut. It's official. I'm documenting my life. And Lisa's already telling everybody.
No, I'm not.
We want to binge watch our life when we're like 95. I mean, what else would you want to do with your time?
I don't know, but
Doesn't that sound great? At Rock's booth, and I'm with my wife, and it's Rock right here. Say hi.
Hi.
He's gonna do a quick demo of what is the product called?
Ultrafuse.
Ultrafuse.
My producer knows nothing about it. Now, here's what you do when you get some of the rods. You go home and get in a garage. It's windy out here. Unless you're really good, you mess up. Even sometimes I do. Okay, but get it in the garage till you get good. Get you a bunch of cans. And why cans? I'll start you off doing the hardest thing first. Next you'll be doing thicker stuff.
Yeah.
But you got so many cans at home and it's recyclable, you can practice as long as you have cans. And sometimes I practice with a 6-pack. Yeah. Seems like that last beer can is the one I actually get. Now, first thing you want to do is clean your work. I use a stainless steel wire brush. Now you can use sandpaper, you can use a file. I use my flapper grinder on that prop, or you can use a brass brush. Well, if you're a welder like myself, that welds everything, you should know you cannot use steel. A steel wire wheel, wire brush, steel wool is a big no-no. It contaminates the metal. Why? That's ferrous. We're working with non-ferrous. Stainless steel is non-ferrous. And by the way, non-ferrous really means non-magnetic. It's not iron ore, like steel. Steel or magnets stick to. Now, the only steel piece this does do, though, is galvanized because of the zinc coating on the galvanized. So that means you can do, well, a lot of boats with trailers got galvanized. So clean it up real good. Now, you don't throw any of these rods away. When you're using them and you got a short piece, don't use it no more. Pick you up a brand new rod, and at the end of the day, take all your short ones, heat them up, stick them together. You don't throw none of it away. Your last one will look just like that. Well, sort of. That one's a cute one. Now, second thing you got to remember is the technique. It's just like solder. Do not heat the rod. If you heat the rod, it won't work.
Okay.
Okay? So I got a little bit of wind here. Let me try to block it. Heat your material. Keep the rod away from the flame. Every so often, move it, scrape it. If it doesn't melt the rod, heat it up some more. Oh well, God knows. Oh yeah.
That wind is getting us.
Wind's a killer.
oh, it's bad.
Well, really, the killer is when I put my tip down here and there's nothing there to weld. That's a killer. But other than that, try to block the wind. Heat it up. Move the torch, scrape it, almost.
Almost. There it is.
Now, once it melts the rod, you're ready. Add your heat. See, you use the rod like a temperature gauge. It'll tell you, go around your repair and fill it in. And you could take it away, bring it back, the flame. But just, that's the only time you put the flame on the rod. When the rod, your work melts the rod. Now, when that cools, I'll show you how to test it. That will hold 45,000 PSI.
Wow.
Now, once you do a bunch of cans and they test out okay, get you something thicker to do. Same technique, but one thing's different. On the thin stuff like the can, you notice have the flame back?
Yeah.
Okay, because I said if it was like that.
Yeah.
So on the thin stuff, stay 3 to 4 inches back. On the thick stuff, put your heat right down there on it.
Sure.
That's the only difference.
Okay.
Takes a little longer, of course. Heat it up till it melts the rod. Once it melts the rod, then add your heat and lay whatever size bead you want.
Yeah.
Now, when you're doing thicker, bigger pieces,
It's ultrafuge.
go straight to matte gas, a hotter gas. Everything else thin like that, practice with propane.
I was gonna buy
Now,
some of
here's
that.
how you test your welds. Now, we'll let her do it because I'll sell the young lady some of her own
Okay.
rods.
Well,
No, I'm joking. You saw how easy it was for me to put a hole in the can, right? You're not. All
right.
You like to have your fingers?
don't hit your hand.
Hit it right. Listen to that. What confidence he has.
Isn't that crazy?
Good. She did good. If you're unable to put a hole back in your well, that was a good demonstration. You did better than most women. If you're unable to put and most men too, if you're unable to put a hole back in your well, you know how to use the rod. Do a couple more cans because I do believe in beginner's level. And then move on to this. Less than 30 minutes, you know how to use the rod, and then you, whenever you need it.
I got it.
Practice, you got it. Now, I'll show you how easy
Oh my gosh.
it is to put a hole in the can.
Jeez.
Stronger than the material it just welded, stronger than solder, and here's another good thing about it compared to solder. It doesn't drip and get in your system. It stays right where you put it at. Now, one more thing I'll show you, heat and AC. Then you can ask him for 20 bucks and I'll sell you some rods. Heating and
He already
AC
bought
guys,
some.
that's his rods. These are your rods. Oh, you gonna steal them from him? He told me he's gonna charge you $2 a rod. He's gotta make some money off of you. Heat and AC guys tell me if you take solder, and they're my second best customer because it welds copper to aluminum. They tell me if you take solder, hit it from the inside out, it pop right off. You ever use JB Well? I knew somebody that used super glue, but it was in a bad way. She knows how good that is. Anyway, a JB Well, it's a glue. You hit it with a hammer and crumbles in a million pieces. Yeah, your 2-epoxy glue. Anything that's bond is a glue. So don't glue metal together when you know you got a welding rod. Use ultrafuge. Why? Because that's a well right there. File it, grind it, drill it. If you had one reason to buy the rod, except you know, if you ever stripped a thread, fill it in with this rod, recut the thread stronger than the one you stripped.
Wow.
It's awesome. Ta-da! Thank you, Rock. Ultrafuse. Awesome
Enjoy.
stuff. Even empty-handed, but we did find out about a couple of places to visit. Hillsville or Hillsdale, and then the September vintage tractor pull event, Goochland.
That is.
So that's next week. I think we might check that out.
We're working.
Okay, or not.
We'll see.
Maybe she's bad luck.
Me?
Maybe.
How could you dare say that?
my thrift finds.
We got here
Alright.
late.
We got here late. Got here at almost 1 o'clock, so everybody was wrapping up anyway, so.